The Fold 7 is here, and it's an upgrade over the Fold 6 in every single way. But what about the Fold Special Edition? Let's go. When Samsung launched the Fold Special Edition last year, a lot of people, including myself, said that this should have been the Fold 6. Well, nearly a year after this is launched, it basically is the Fold 7, but not quite. But as much as there is a lot of similarities, there is a lot of differences that separate these two phones. And it's not even about what's on paper. It's just about how it feels. It's a pretty drastic showcase of what Samsung have been working on behind the scenes over the past 12 months. The design is the starting point, starting with the things that are the same. The cover screen, 6.5 inches, pretty much same dimensions as well. 21:9 aspect ratio, which means it's going to be pretty much the same width in the hand. No change there, really. Internal display, 8 inches. Again, very similar dimensions. When you've got it open, it's pretty much the identical sort of look that what you can see from a distance. The only difference really is the hinge. Apart from being slimmer, the hinge on the Fold 7 is springy. Feels incredible to sort of launch it open and then sort of close it shut. It's got a lot of springiness about it and a lot of durability. Samsung have completely revitalized the internals of the hinge to make it more durable. The materials around the rest of the phone are also upgraded. That cover display is protected by Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2, I think they call it, which is the same as what's on the S25 Edge. I guess for slim phones, Samsung have decided to go with a different sort of material protecting the front versus what they've done previously. And then you've got Victus 2 on the back, but still armor aluminium around the frame. Oh, and it's almost 20 grams lighter and 1.7 millimeters thinner than the Fold Special Edition. Ugh. Silly me. The Fold 7 measures just 8.9 millimeters when it's closed. The Fold Special Edition was 10.6 millimeters when closed. And it's a drastic difference both to see and look at, but also to hold. The Fold 6 was 12.1. So to go within the space of a year, 12.1 to 10.6 to 8.9, staggering generational leap forward. Comparing it just quickly to the Fold 6, a lot of people said that that was the perfect one-handed foldable. Because of the cover screen being so narrow, it meant you could conveniently reach across the screen. I subscribed to that because I thought that was exactly Samsung's vision for foldables. I'm in the process of collecting as many of the older foldables as I can, including the first generation, and that was a tiny cover screen that was really narrow. So once I get everything together, I'll do a video, so make sure you hit subscribe for that. But with this Fold 7, what Samsung have kind of proved to me is that as long as the phone is thin, the cover screen can be a bit wider. Because it's 8.9 millimeters this way and a 21:9 aspect ratio, so it's still kind of tall and narrow, it's occupying less hand real estate and it's still going to be easy to sort of reach around. For me, it's a lot like the S25 Edge. A phone that you really can't believe is this thin and light, especially for what it has internally. It's definitely by far going to be the lightest tablet you'll probably ever own, I can tell you that. When you've got them open, you won't really be able to tell them too much apart. The crease does look a little bit further reduced on the Fold 7 compared to what it was last year on the Fold Special Edition, but I haven't had enough time with it to fully determine that just yet. I cannot stress enough though, that even though the Fold 7 has the same dimensions as the Fold Special Edition, it doesn't feel the same at all. Lighter, thinner, better hand ergonomics all contribute to a completely different in-hand feel. The cameras are interesting because with the Fold 6, you had pretty much the same consistent setup for the last few years, and it always matched the sort of base and plus models of the S series. The Fold Special Edition kind of went a different direction to those and brought in the main camera from the Ultra and a 12 megapixel ultra wide that had dual pixel autofocus to enable macro. And it still, for some reason, kept the 3x telephoto, the 10 megapixel one, which no one seems to be a fan of. The Fold 7 has the exact same camera setup. There is no difference in the camera hardware, aside from Samsung slimming the module down on the main one. It's got the 12 megapixel ultra wide with macro, 200 megapixel main camera, and 10 megapixel 3x telephoto. Hasn't really been any significant software changes, aside from it now doing log video, which is great, because even with oneui 8 here on my Fold Special Edition, there's no log video to speak of just yet. But there is one camera upgrade that is worth talking about, and that's the internal one on the inner display. On the Fold Special Edition, Samsung removed the under-display camera component but also kept the same camera from the Fold 6, the 4 megapixel rubbish one. What Samsung have done now is, again, no under display camera, but they've enhanced it. It's a 10 megapixel selfie camera, which they've talked about it being clearer. Obviously, it's not having to see through pixels. And it's also now got a 100-degree field of view, which should enable for video calling to have a wider field of view to fit maybe more people in if you're doing group calls, for example. The camera experience doesn't really change because a Fold is a Fold and it's going to do what Fold things do. It's now just the fact you've got a lighter studio that sort of fits in your pocket that I think is really cool. The only other upgrade really to the experience is the chipset. Fold Special Edition, of course, was using last year's chip, the 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. This year, Samsung have moved to the 8 Elite for Galaxy. The 8 Elite for Galaxy does have some nice ISP enhancements in terms of sort of, I guess, output, which I'm looking forward to testing. But you shouldn't expect too drastic different results because, well, the hardware is the same. The likely disappointing aspect for a lot of you will be that the battery capacity has not increased. Depends on which way you want to look at it, because if you look at it from just a pure capacity standpoint, yeah, it's disappointing. But if you look at the fact that they've maintained the same capacity whilst reducing the thickness of the phone by 2.1 millimeters compared to what was on the 3.1, but what was on the Fold 6 and maintained the same capacity, that's an achievement, especially since they're not upgrading the battery tech just yet. Samsung have their reasons, I'm sure. And what you've seen from the S25 Edge is that if they get the density of the battery right, they'll actually get good battery life. So I'm not too concerned, although that was a different phone, one screen. This is 2 screens and one sort of tablet screen. So I'll keep you updated on how it goes when my Fold 7 comes in. The bottom line with the Fold 7 compared to the Fold 6 and the Special Edition is design. Software, chipset, performance, it's all really inconsequential when you really consider what a foldable is. It's about that sort of 2-in-1, that phone screen on the front, unfolding into a tablet, and doing that the best that it can. And with the Fold 7 now, 8.9 mil when closed, 4.2 when open, 215 grams in the hand, with everything else that it's got, it's a very compelling package for a foldable. You're just going to have to pay for it because the prices have gone up, at least here in Australia. For me, this is the closest we've come to a global foldable that matches the feeling of a slab phone whilst also unfolding into a tablet. When my Fold 7 gets here, I'm going to be putting it through its paces, including a comparison to the S25 Ultra, because I think now that the cameras are sort of on a same sort of level, I feel like we can do that comparison a bit more evenly, and people might actually be deciding between the two. So make sure you hit subscribe, check that out. I've also got a Flip 6 versus Flip 7 video live on the channel right now too, as well as a brief hands-on of everything that's come out at this Unpacked. So make sure you go check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Yo!